Alright, okay, something new for today. Bring you massive value in every way, as I would tell you. So you know, another day, another flow. It's going to be something new. So give thanks every time. Start out, stay blessed, stay in the light. Do what is right. So what's going to be tonight? First thing I'm getting into is adding some additions to this marketing system that I'm building. Again, this is a marketing system that could be used for any app, any vibe coded project. This one specifically is for the app I'm building. There's a lot of things when you're marketing a project that are very similar across all projects, but depending on the project you're doing, the way you would want to market something would be slightly different in certain ways. So that being said, this is a finance app that I just launched. You guys saw me create it live. It's called Stackivate. I'm going to put the URL in the comments. So that's the launch for today. Yeah, Stackivate, as I would say. So what this is an app. I feel like the free tier alone can just take anybody from knowing very little or knowing nothing about investing to being able to beat the S&P 500. So basically, and even if somebody does, already know a lot about investing, I think that they would enjoy playing the time machine game where they go back in time and try a random year in the stock market with the goal to beat the returns for the S&P 500. Because most people are told that they should just put their money in index funds. And I mean, that's not bad advice, but there's a better way, in my opinion. And I'm trying to help people see that way. Trying to help people realize that this is something they can do. That, I mean, it's not fast money. It's not trading. It's something that I truly believe that anybody can learn without any kind of degree. And I mean, it barely takes any money to start. You can start with fake money and then go to real money later. So that being said, go check out the app for yourself. Let me know anything you don't like, anything you want me to change, anything you would like me to add to it. Plan on adding more features, especially to the free tier. And I believe the pro tier is working now, the paid tier, $14.99 a month. But yeah, so I gotta double check that. And if you try that and it's not working, just let me know. So, getting into where I'm gonna be, where we left off, was yesterday I was building that dashboard for marketing this app in particular. And the first part of the dashboard is basically a marketing system where I will be talking to people online and also finding people talking about investing online, especially beginner investors. And I will be logging conversations. I will be extracting key points that pertain to marketing. And this is basically the foundation of the entire system. So I start with that information, and then the AI is going to have layers built on top of it where it's using that information. So once I get enough information for this part, then I can add the next layer. And then after I add the next layer, then I'll get more information from that layer, and then I can add the next layer. So it's all built on top of each other, and I really enjoy this. This is very different from the way that I built the last personal brand marketing app, where I basically built out the whole app in one step, or not one step, but built it out before I really started using it. And I mean, for that particular personal branding, like, that made more sense, especially because I had already, established. I've had this YouTube channel for, I don't know, I think like 7 years or something like that. So I already have a lot of information, basically. But as far as this new app that I just created, I don't have that information yet. And even if you haven't built anything yet, even if you're thinking of building something, even if you're not sure what to create, especially if you're not sure what you want to create, this tool I'm building right now would be extremely helpful, because it will give you information based on what people want you to build. Of course, you'd want to have a niche, kind of like some ideas. And anything you build, just know that you should understand the topic really well. I mean, if you're building a topic about fitness, if you're building an app about fitness and you don't know anything about fitness, you could be getting the wrong information from AI and you wouldn't catch it. But if you understand fitness very well and you have a goal that you want to help people with something, and the AI hallucinates and tells you the wrong information, you can just catch it and say, no, that's wrong, and explain to it why it's wrong and correct it so it creates the right content. So, it's all about staying in the flow and building as you go and just collecting information. So make sure you stay in tune to the station so we can build great things and provide a lot of value. And I guess I'll get into what I'm building today. So last time what we did was just started logging information from one conversation, and that was definitely an interesting conversation that I had to start, so it was put a smile on my face to see. And the main thing I learned from that conversation is people in this investing niche, beginner investors, it seems like they know they don't know anything about investing and they want to learn, but maybe they feel a little bit like I don't know if like shy is the right word to admit that they don't know anything. So they kind of try to act like they know more than they're talking about. And in this particular conversation, people were trying to help them and explain to them that, you saying that like you're not sure whether this investment is better than this investment, because they understood that the investments they were talking about were very similar. They're like, that's like asking if, like you think hamburgers are going to do better than like pizza next year. And the person still didn't understand. They're like, so are you saying pizzas is like that one stock is like pizzas? And that's not how they exactly said it, but it was pretty funny. So yeah, you can learn a lot about psychology. You want to learn about the way your target market thinks. And you can learn a lot through that from communicating with them, finding out where they hang out. So that's the first thing we're building. I'm going to go ahead and get this dashboard started. Start up Claude. This is a new, I'm trying out different project. Not sure if languages is the right word. So yeah, bear with me if you're very good with tech. I'm still learning, but the framework, I believe it's called. So I built the last one on like a Next.js, and this one I think is called, started with an F. I think it was called Fluke or something like that. But let's see here. Just gotta get those instructions again on how to start this dashboard up. I'm just starting a new session today, working today, and I'm doing it on live stream. So the first thing I need to do is refresh me on how to get the dashboard set up for the Stack of 8 marketing project. Flask, thank you. That was it. Respect every time. Good to see you, Amish Patel, in the chat. And thank you for that. So yeah, it was called Flask. Never created a project in Flask before, but sounds like I can build a lot of stuff on top of it. And yeah, I have a lot of ideas, and I only have like a loose idea of how everything's going to fit together. I know that the more I build, the more I'm going to get insights into what needs to be built next. So I'm just going to keep building these business systems. I really like these business systems. Something about these is more fun to me to build than actual like projects. Although yeah, the projects are really valuable. Alright, so open the PowerShell, put in this prompt. And then I just put in the local host. There we go. So here's what we got so far. We got capture. So capture is for conversations that I'm having with people about my actual product, about the app that I built. So essentially I'm storing very similar, if not the same information. I would just go to paste conversation, paste the whole conversation right here, put in the date, and basically it should be able to extract the main features. So that's something I haven't put in yet, is an LLM. I'm gonna put in Anthropic, so Anthropic can basically do what the chat window right here, the LLM is gonna do, and that's what I had to do last night. But what I want to do is I want to have it sooner than later built into this project, because when I give it information, then it can remember that information and it'll get better over time. So the longer I wait to switch over to an LLM with this project, the less information I'll accumulate over time, and a few other things. But anyways, we got this, and we got the conversations and observations is what I did last night. So like I can click on this one I did last night, and you got like their original post, and I can go back and check the post and the content, and then basically the main things in marketing are going to be like pain points, notable quotes, feature implications, content hooks. I think the most important thing you want to look for is notable quotes, because you want to make sure that you're using the exact same language that people use to describe things, so that your marketing can connect with them better. So, thinking the next part is add in the Claude API extraction integration. Alright, awesome. I'm in, the project's running. I want to pick up from where we left off. I want to build the Claude API extraction integration next. So we got the system prompt first, which from what I understand, I'm gonna have to build the actual feature onto the project and then tell it this. So yeah, welcome Alex, welcome to the comments, respect every time, good to see you here. You know, just another day building great things. We are building the building onto the marketing platform that I'm doing for this app that I just launched. You can see in the comments I put the URL for the app again, and this is specific, this is custom for this app, but a lot of things are really universal. So yeah, if you're looking to learn how to market a project that you're building, you're in the right spot. If you just like vibe coding, you're in the right spot. If you like abundance mindset, you're in the right spot. If you're trying to hear about business, you're in the right spot. So any questions you got, let me know, and I'll just keep going with the flow. So first step is to get the Anthropic API key. Then commit the current state to Git. Paste the Claude Code prompt above into Claude Code. So what I was looking for is what step do I put the key into the project? But that's not a problem. So yeah, that's awesome. That's good to hear. Definitely nighttime over here, but it is a good day. So you know, breakfast time's always a good time. I'm gonna take a seat and get started. Legs are a little tired today. Went on the mountain biking trails again. All right. So I'm gonna need to go into a different window. I'll leave this project browser up so you guys can kind of see the information that we got from last night while I go ahead and get this API key and put it in the project. It's like, what am I doing typing? Alright, so I got the API key. Can you let me know about, basically I want to put it in the .env file, and let me know what I should put for the label for this key. Can you create a prompt to have Claude create the .env file with that label, and also, I guess it would be the .env example file? So yeah, I would show you guys this part of the build, but I can't for security reasons. Alright, there we go. It's in. Alright. The files are created and the key is in place, so I'm ready for the next prompt. Now I can switch over. Back to the live coding. Alright, so it's a good prompt. AI assisted extraction for the observations capture flow. This is going to be on plan mode with max effort. Not sure what this message is about. So I'm going to ask Claude. I just got a pop-up message and I'm not really sure what it's about, so I'm going to paste it here, and it's on VS Code. Sounds like it's nothing, I can just ignore it. Right. My previous job, the last job I worked, was supporting an Italian company that made pots and pans. That was about, I don't know, 15 years ago. But I've been running businesses. I've been an entrepreneur since then. First business I did was with some friends. We were doing like basically like a Uber Eats way before any of that stuff existed. It was the only one in town that we did ourselves. And that was cool. It helped me a lot understand business. I did go to college for business administration, and that kind of helped, but I think I would have been better off just starting a business earlier. So anyways, yeah, I started that business with some friends. That was like really fun for about 2 or 3 years, and then it was doing well, so competition started coming in and they were able to outspend us, but I was really getting like burnt out and like not really liking that business anymore. It required a lot of my time. I had to be somewhere at a certain time every day for a lot of time, and essentially I had the intention, I was like, I want to have a business that is global, that I can operate from anywhere, so that I can just move into the mountains and snowboard and mountain bike whenever I want, or whenever the weather is nice, because you can't really plan around that too well. So I had already been reading tons of books, mostly nonfiction, mostly business books, and self-publishing was like a brand new thing back then. So I started writing books and they started doing well, and then I started hiring people to write books and basically turned it into a publishing company. And I've tried like a lot of businesses since then. Most of them failed, but definitely entrepreneur, I would say. So plan is clean, prove, but answer the formatting question carefully. Go with B. Now I just gotta paste that system prompt. So this is the prompt that's going to take the information, I can give it a full conversation, and this prompt is going to know what to extract and where to put it in the right spot. And I'm guessing it might not work very well the first time I try it, and I might have to manually adjust it, but over time it'll get better and better. So once I get this up, I can go straight into the marketing. Go straight back to the marketing, get more information, and show you guys like what I'm looking at when I'm doing this kind of marketing, what kind of comments I want to make. Because basically, it's pretty easy to go and find conversations that have already happened, but those are not going to be specific to your project. So that information is good, but you know, I think what I was learning yesterday was that once you get to maybe like 50 different conversations, you're kind of hitting a limit as like, you know, it's not really worth your time to do more than that because it's going to get pretty much all the information it needs. But I feel like there's really no limit to having conversations with potential users about your product or service. Even after it's built, even after it's already starting to make money, you still want to have that be an ongoing thing. You can always learn something new. And the more you learn, the more you can apply to your marketing and apply it to whatever you're building to make it better over time. It's all about providing value. I feel like this app, this investing app, provides a lot of value, not just to people that they can learn investing and learn how to have their money work for them instead of working for their money, but also I think if something like this were implemented on a massive scale, that it would be very good for society, because I think it would lead to a better distribution of wealth amongst people. And I know I fixed those first few, or actually I think it was like levels 7 through 9 of the game yesterday. So all the levels should be there. Awesome, this one's done. So it looks like this one I got to do in the PowerShell window. Start the server fresh. The following is everything, or not everything, but the last prompt that I just put into the PowerShell, and it's giving me some information. I just want to make sure that this information that I showed on stream is not a security issue, something that I would need to change. It doesn't look like it, but I just want to double check, make sure that everything is good with security every time. So respect to Chicago, if I'm saying that right, every time. I should be using a virtual environment. Thank you. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to ask about that right now, actually. Somebody in the chat on my live stream just mentioned that I should be using a virtual environment. Can you explain to me what that is and what you think I should be using it for this project or for vibe coding in general? %99 of the time when people talk about virtual environment, they're talking about Python. I'll go to this browser. In the Python world, you must use virtual environment or your different projects will fight each other over which version of a library they want to use. And I'm pretty sure I just installed Python. Python for this project, and it's saying for my other project I do already have one. I see. Python stores libraries in global rooms unless you build a virtual room. Node.js builds a private room. Node modules inside every single project by default. And I really like learning this stuff and understanding it, so thanks again, because this is something I'm glad was brought to my attention that I didn't understand 100%. So like, otherwise there's environment variables, I have that. Dev containers, high-tech version of a virtual environment. So it sounds like the development containers is the main thing that I don't have. High-tech version of a virtual environment, way to run your entire VS Code setup inside a container. Make sure that your computer, Claude's computer, and your production server are all exactly the same. So yeah, I did just install Python. Definitely need to be careful of, seems like everything I understood except this GitHub auth tokens. And I've definitely had people on the stream try to tell me to run that command to see. And I'm glad I didn't do it. Alright, so back to the project. Gonna check out. And yeah, if you feel like Chicago, if you feel like there's something that I'm not understanding about what you were trying to tell me, definitely let me know. But what it looked like all that stuff is pretty much covered. Okay, so I should have you don't care what. Alright, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. Alright, the person from the comments, after I went through what the virtual environment was and you were telling me I don't need anything new for now, I'm going to paste what they told me because I don't really understand it. You're pretty sure I just put a pip command in the terminal. Thank you, that's good to know. I'm going to look that up. Because I thought what I was reading was that oh, the debugger pin. So yeah, I'm not really sure what that means then. But yeah, thank you. I'm definitely looking that up right now. So the person told me like more detail of what they were trying to say. So I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so basically I was using Python and I don't think this LLM understands it. So today I'm building the marketing dashboard for my Stack of 8 finance app for beginner investors that I just launched this week. I'm just looking into making sure everything is secure real quick. Somebody from the comments of the live stream just mentioned that I should be using a virtual environment, and they said they're like 99% sure. I just put a pip command in the terminal, and from what I understand, if I'm using Python, I need to be using a virtual environment. Can you give me more information about what this person is saying and how this applies to my project? Thank you. Yeah, so basically, the commenter is correct. So when I run pip install Anthropic, that package gets installed to your global Python on your PC. I see, over time, because if I'm using Python for different apps, the global Python accumulates every package from every project. Dozens or hundreds of packages, many unused, all potentially interacting in weird ways. If I ever move this project to a new machine or share it with somebody or an employee like I mentioned wanting later, there's no clean way to say, here's exactly what needs to be installed. Using a virtual environment is a standard practice for any Python project beyond a throwaway script. So yeah, it's good to know Claude it does not always catch this stuff. So that's why you gotta keep learning. I've definitely seen people that, you know, they don't really read all the prompts and they don't really pay attention to what's going on, but I feel like it's super important because you're gonna miss stuff and it's better to catch it sooner than later. And then something like this I can remember for future Python projects. And Claude's telling me they should have had me do it, but the reason for not doing it was to keep the project as simple as possible for a beginner to understand. Fixing it now is genuinely easy. Awesome. Created in PowerShell, so that's what I'm going to do. Then activated on Windows PowerShell. Show me the .venv so I can put in the next prompt for the pip install. This installs Flask, Anthropic, and Python.env into venv isolated from the global Python, and then start the app. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. I had no idea anything about this, and not only did you make this project, so it probably saved me a lot of time in the future, but definitely learned something really important, and caught Claude up in missing something important. So every new terminal session, just need to remember to activate the venv before running the app. That reminds me, I want to find a way to like reward my my early subscribers, so I'm going to look into getting some like free codes that I can give you guys, like free months of access to the paid tier of the app to try it out if you guys want. And I was thinking of doing some kind of like contest for like see if people like who can get the best score for beating the S&P 500 on the time machine feature. So yeah, that's what it sounded like. I was just looking at the comments that I wouldn't have known for months about the virtual environment, the problems that it would cause until things went haywire, or a fork or a clone or repo had that I did where nothing worked. Because yeah, that was the main thing I didn't understand, was it if I'm making other Python projects that like all the information is kind of like lives all on like the one project unless I create a virtual environment, so it separates the information from this project from the other projects, if I'm understanding that correctly. And Flask definitely puts it on Windows. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking about unstructured means, but yeah, it sounds like you understand something that better than I do. Alright. So it looks like I set everything up right in the PowerShell. Did you also want me to give the last prompt that you made to Claude Code? Is that in addition to everything that I just set up? Respect every time in search of IQ. That comment made me smile for sure. The needle in the haystack. I've never heard that one before. Good play on my name. Thank you. Yeah, hope you're doing good too. You know, gotta be unique, gotta be myself. It's good for my health. Not to try to be someone else. Needle in the haystack, I would agree. Thank you. No worries. I appreciate the help. And yeah, I just didn't completely understand what you meant. You're so used to containers and things. Flask saying run pip. No doubt. Yeah, it is refreshing to know I'm doing it right from the start, and I just save myself probably a lot of time, if anything, in the future. But I'll still need some containers for databases, but good start. Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to mention that right now, see to make sure that I remind Claude Code to remind me. So it looks like we just caught an issue with the BAT launcher that I can just click and like the project starts. Well, it looks like it's asking me a different question before I start that. So I did the run for the git push and commit, and it's giving me a message. I have not given it that last prompt that you gave me yet for the bat file. So I'm going to paste the message that I'm getting from Claude, and then once this part's done, then I can go to that most recent prompt that you gave me. All right, option B. So it's not Flask, it's just pip and Python trying to take over the world. That's interesting. I still don't understand what that means, but I feel like you know what you're talking about. I feel like sounds like pip and Python trying to make sure that like more projects rely on them, I think is what you're saying. And then why am I using Claude on the browser? So I like to use Claude, and also I use Gemini and also GPT to do things like help me plan and get research, and I like to get different opinions from different LLMs. And also if I were to, I could open another terminal and use that like just for chatting with Claude. In a way that's better because it would have access to my files, so I wouldn't have to like, copy and paste as much information over. But for my workflow, I feel like this is easier. And I think over time I will get to the point where I start using another terminal that I'm just using Claude to do research and ask questions and stuff like that. And, you know, hopefully the goal is, as I get better and better, to be at the point where I can orchestrate multiple terminals and windows and agents at the same time. But I'm right around month 3 of learning this stuff, and I'm trying to make sure that I build everything lean, clean, secure, and correctly. So once I know I got my flow, my building steps down right, then I can start doing what I was just saying. No, I got the bad launcher fixed. Awesome. Alright, so now I'm going to test it out. Alright, so you can see now we got the extract with AI button that was not here before. So I'll basically put a whole conversation right here, and then I will make sure that AI extracts the right things about it. And if I have to change anything, I'll change it, but I feel like this is the right way to go. So now I'll just find some conversations. Again, personal finance. Doesn't look like there's much going on in this one. Not much there. This one might be good. Alright, here's the first conversation I found that seemed to have, like, you know, some relevance to my project. Doesn't seem like much, definitely not as good as the last one I found. Mainly I just wanted to get your opinion, whether you think this would be good marketing for the project I'm doing. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking it kind of might be, but let me know what you think. They're not specifically asking about stocks. They're talking about investing, like, well, no. Claude disagrees with me. It's a really good find for my project. They think even better. Yeah, so this is interesting. This is a beginner, so that's the main thing. So I want to find, like, beginners that don't understand what they're asking. I see what they're saying. That's gold. See how they're, like, phrasing things and stuff like that. Doesn't just have to be about stocks or index funds. It can be anything, CDs, saving accounts. That makes more sense. I was thinking because they're talking about CDs that it wouldn't apply, but just the fact that it's a beginner wondering about investing. This is good. Okay. So, like, this person is confusing saving with investing. And Claude sees that, but from what I read, the person doesn't understand that. So here we go, trying it out, the first extraction. I'm gonna paste it in extract with AI. And then I'll make sure that it puts everything in the right spot. Awesome, it's already done. Here we go. So I'm gonna see if I can copy all this. Put it right into Claude. I extracted it, or Claude extracted it, and it filled in each one of the fields. Reading it, I mean, it looks, I kind of just scanned through it, and it looks pretty good to me, but I'm going to paste everything here. Hopefully you can see it all, and let me know what you think. Oh, I see. That's weird, it didn't show everything when I... Okay, I see what it's doing. Need to copy the text from each field, because for whatever reason it's not allowing me to copy and paste it the way it is, so no problem. Alright. Now it should work. The extraction is strong, really strong. That's good to hear. Better than Claude expected for the first API call. Claude's already telling me I've done a full day worth of progress. Nah, I'm just getting started. So on to the next conversation to find. All right. $401k or a number 2 pencil. Sounds like another person bragging. Right, why would you have a credit card balance at all if you have... Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I'm not so sure about this one. I'll see what Claude thinks. Let me know what you think about this conversation. I'm thinking it's okay, but it's not good because it doesn't really have much detailed information, and it kind of sounds like more of like a brag to me than a person, you know, like legitimately asking for investing advice. like, hey, I'm making 200 something a year. But yeah, they must have just started making that, because otherwise it doesn't make much sense. Yup, skip this one. Learning to recognize what not to log is just as valuable as recognizing what to log. And not much information, so it's good to know. Keep the quality bar high, quality over quantity. The AI extraction is only as good as the input I feed it. Trying to find another. Yeah, this is not about, this is about someone getting their check from a company. This one might be good. Let me know what you think about this conversation. What? So this is not the best one for information. There's only a few things, and there's some stuff I want to avoid, but it sounds like it's good for testing out the extractor to see if it catches the stuff that it shouldn't be catching and uses the stuff it should be using. So, let's see. New observation. Paste the content. I'll go to the project browser. Extract with AI. This is good. Yeah, it did everything that it was supposed to do. This is awesome. Feeling really good about this. So, do the extraction, paste the field back. Definitely, that's a good idea. Looks good to me, but I'm going to see what Claude has to say. Looking at the chat, respect every time. Good to see you, Python. Big up yourself. And good morning to you. It's nighttime where I'm at, but it was a good day here. So, good day to everyone around the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Remain productive, providing value, and stay in the light. So if you're just tuning in, you know it's time to win. Make sure you like up the like button, aka click the like button, the thumbs up. Get this information out to more people so we can teach people about building businesses that provide a lot of value and marketing them and anything else, positive mindset, anything that you need, you're in the right place. So working on the marketing dashboard for this specific app, and I would say like 80 to 90% of what I'm building on this dashboard could apply to pretty much any app. The first part of this, what I'm building, is basically getting observations from conversations online from my target market, people who are beginner investors. And I'm getting these conversations so I can extract main points from the conversations that will apply to marketing. So when I build on top the next part of this marketing dashboard, it's going to have all this information to help create the marketing content. And originally when I was I asked both GPT and Claude, and I think even Gemini too, about how I should make this dashboard, and they said basically go straight to the marketing making content part of the dashboard. Like just start with something that can create content for like TikTok and YouTube and X and stuff like that. And I was like, well, as someone who understands marketing very well, I think I'm missing a step. And they're like, oh yeah, you're right, you should be doing that. So added on this step, and essentially this is like the foundation, the head cornerstone that's gonna apply to everything else, and everything else is built on stacking apps, stacking features on apps, making sure that that everything is right before I add the next feature, because then if something's off, then it'll just like compound the problem throughout the entire app. So definitely for this one, I don't want to be building out the whole app first. I'm just building it one step at a time. Alright, so this is notable quotes. Let's see if that's where I'm at. Yep. Fanberg. Respect every time. Big up yourself. Welcome to the comments. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live stream. I assume that you like Claude. Not Claude one time, but 10 times Claude. I do not know what that equals. 10 times Claude equals... I don't know. Let me know what you think. What's up every time? Warm-ups live. Good to see you. Thank you for the good wishes. Good luck. Same to you too. Respect and blessings in everything you do. And you know we're gonna create a lot of value for the people of the world with what we can build. And what I'm working on right now is the marketing skills. So you're in the right place for marketing. For marketing anything, I guess, but particularly vibe-coded apps, which is what I'm doing right now. And I'm gonna post the, I'm gonna quick post the link again for the app that I'm marketing for and that I just launched this week. Free tier is really good in my opinion so far. I'll definitely be adding a lot more later. But feel free to let me know what you guys think. So for the most part, it looks like everything was good, except for maybe one or two things that I should take out of the extraction. And then I can learn from what it got wrong. So basically I extracted a conversation into this feature. I had AI break it down and put the right marketing context information like pain points, notable quotes, future implications, content hooks, and tags. And it did pretty well. The main thing that I was like wondering, and Claude was wondering if it was gonna mess up on, it didn't do. So there's just a few issues that it made. So now I'm gonna save what I got except for that and then see if I want to give it an update for like what it should be doing to get better over time. Alright, so deleting two things out of here. Add in some more tags. Save observation. There we go. So it's telling me go find another thread, but I'm gonna ask it a few questions first about like making this smarter over time. Okay, so before I go finding the next thread, I have a few questions. Mainly it's about how to make this smarter over time. So like we just made some changes based on like, you know, a few things that should not be included. So when I'm doing that, do you think I should be like giving any kind of prompt to Claude through Claude Code for this project to let it know like what it did wrong and how to get better every time? Or is there a better way to do that? I know in other projects I've done things like a RAG library, and I know there's something like Obsidian where I can like start creating cards. So you know, I want to just make sure that I'm like making this smarter and that it's learning from each mistake it makes, and probably even letting it know what it's doing right. Let me know what you think. So basically, like, it's not something I would be telling Claude. It would be something like there is a system prompt that I originally gave it that for the most part, I'd say like 90% is working really well so far. And I would just need to update that system prompt to do it in that way. Otherwise, few shot examples in the prompt. I could add something like, you know, good extraction and mistakes to avoid, and then like each time it does something that's a mistake, I could just like add that. I think the RAG is overkill for this stage. Should get like 50 to 100 observations before I do that. Obsidian. I keep hearing so many awesome things about Obsidian, and it sounds really cool to me. Like, You know, the concept of it, it's like a second brain. And it basically is like very lean from what I understand. Like it's not like a whole database, it's just like cards. And I just haven't found the right use case for it yet. Sounds like for one of my other marketing projects, they were saying I could like add it later, but for early in the project, it doesn't make sense. Mainly because here it's for personal knowledge management across many different domains. Get your chips out. Get your. So they're recommending keep a simple tuning log file. So we got a prompt to start this basically note taking based on how it's how the AI is extracting the information to make it better over time. Yeah, get this going, then I stand up, get my energy up. Alright, go to the code. Get it running. Just realized I got it on medium effort. This one shouldn't be a big deal because basically it's just adding something to a prompt. Awesome. So let's try another conversation and see if it does better than before. I think this one's going to be good because it should be doing, this is like perfect. It's the same kind of topic where someone's trying to help their parents with financial advice, which, you know, I'm wondering, like, you know, maybe I should be marketing to parents too, but, or really anybody who's a beginner investor. But it seems like most of the people posting here, and from what I did the research, most people that are new to investing, the biggest demographic is like early 20s to like mid 30s. So yeah, an advisor charges them 1% plus $1,500 per yearly meeting with a report. So, I mean, I should basically be able to do everything that this particular advisor is doing with my app with the paid tier for right now, which is $15 a month. Everything and more. But yeah, this is how the game is like right now. It's just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, people are like paying these high fees to have someone manage their funds, and after inflation they're basically just breaking even, and the only one who's really making money is the advisors, who are making, you know, in this case maybe $3,000 a year per person that has this kind of similar setup. Even the person who posted this says it seems like it's overly complex and the performance is only 6% over the past 10 years, and it's expensive to manage. So like, they're getting it, like the younger people are getting it, like all these, like their parents are like doing these plans where they're really not benefiting anything, and that's like the old way of doing things. I just found another conversation, and I like this one because it seems like it is close to what, we updated for the issues that we had last time, to see if it catches it. Let me know what you think about this one, and if this is a good one to see the changes we made, that they're being applied correctly. I'm gonna go to the lo-fi real quick. I don't know about that accordion music. Hello, Had. Welcome to the chat. Respect every time. Alright, so we go to the project browser. Doing alright. Doing alright. Got in some good mountain biking today. Fresh air and sunshine. How about you? How you doing? No doubt. Well, yeah, that's yeah, I'm sorry to hear you're not doing so well. You know, hopefully you're doing better. You know, that's life though. Ups and downs. Just gotta keep focused on the goal. Got to think positive. Telling you like it is. So I'm going to be pasting these fields into Claude LLM. Claude LLM is going to verify how well a job the extractor did on the app. So far it's working really good.
Would you care to join my following? No, sir. I do not follow.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, looking back at the chat. Just talking about in the physical sense. Thanks for clearing that up. That's definitely not as bad as it sounded. Definitely in some deep focus. Definitely making progress. Getting my marketing skills better and applying them to the project. Building a marketing tool I've never seen anyone else build before, so definitely have to figure it out all by myself, but I mean the implications of what this is capable of doing is big, so definitely feeling good about this this project so far, and I'm just on the first step. And yeah, I gotta asking about my family member. Definitely dealing with a family member who has cancer, and you know, doing my best to help them out. And they're doing all right. They just had some complications that they're just getting over, so it's really good to see them like getting their strength back. But now that they're getting their strength back, it sounds like they gotta go back on the chemo again, so hey, you know, it hurts to see them like struggling like that, but that's what they gotta do to get better. Then that's what they gotta do. So, you know, just gotta stay focused and keep stay active and keep working towards good health, and I have faith that they will make it through. been dealing with this now for, I don't know, so about 2 years, I feel like, and a lot of ups and downs, but I feel like progress is being made, so that's the main thing. Just gotta stay positive. Hey, thank you for the positive comments. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, staying positive. Brain power is the main power. So, you know, it's that book, Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. That was a good book. I have not saved the observation yet. So you want me to do that update? Can you make that into a prompt that I can just give to Claude Code and just confirm that you want me to give Claude Code the prompt before I save the observation, or does it matter? Alright, so save first. Observation goes to the SQLite database, which is separate from the tuning log file. Got a new prompt for Claude, adding this update to the way that this project will extract information from marketing. Looking at the comments, oil prices are moving up again. Just don't see any real news on why. How close do I follow the markets daily? Pretty much every day. Mainly stocks and crypto. You know, even if it's most days is only like 5 minutes. That reminds me, I did a short on Bitcoin. Feeling like it was at the top. Up 103% on the short, no doubt. 97x leverage, but it's a very small. Just kind of do it for fun. But it's definitely would not want to put big amounts of money in that high of a leverage trade. I just like doing those for fun sometimes. No doubt, I'll keep that in mind for chatting on Discord. Check out each other's workflow and everything like that. And feel free too, if you want to talk about workflows. Just on the chat on the stream too, that's totally cool. And I know you sent me that that prompt and I just haven't got to it yet. It's on my list of like 100 things to do. But the main thing is staying focused on the build and the business stuff, so can only really get to a couple things outside of that each day. But slowly but surely I'll get there. Alright, so that prompt went through. Looks like everything is good. And just one thing I'm not really understanding 100%, I feel like I mostly understand it, is basically that, like, you know, when I make those changes to like the prompt like I just did, do you think that's something I should be doing like every time, or something I just need to do if I notice something is off? And essentially, is this going to help with training the dashboard overall with, you know, better marketing information as I build? Or is this just going to be in regards to how it extracts information for these observations? And that's another thing, because I've got observations and then I've got actual like conversations that I would be having. So like these prompts I'm doing, are they for both? or do I need to like do totally different prompt when I like log in my first conversation that I'm having with a person about the actual app or project that I just launched. Yeah, just hit the 2 hours, 22 minutes and 22 seconds on the stream. I don't know why I just randomly looked at the time, but yeah, that's gotta be a good sign. Looking at the chat, welcome to the chat. Respect every time. I do not mind asking any question at all. So, or answering any question, or you asking. But anyways, how long have I been vibe coding? This is day, I think, 55. And just past 2 hours and 22 minutes and 22 seconds of day 55. But anyways, since that, I did like, so that's about 3 months. I did like one project before that. And yes, agentic coding, vibe coding. Starting to, when I first started, I had never heard of agentic coding. I only understood vibe coding. And essentially I'm doing like a little bit of both. I'm managing the agents, and I'm also vibe coding. More vibe coding comes with like fixing bugs and like editing things and stuff like that. But I think like, you know, building out the main features of things is, I would fall more under the category of agentic coding. And I'm seeing that's where, like, you know, most of the skills that I'm learning are a lot around managing agents and managing building a project. So I feel like it's two different things that I'm doing both of. And that's what I'm reading about right now, is like the structure of this project, which is the marketing dashboard. I'll show you guys the project real quick. So I've been logging conversations from my target audience, target market. and extracting marketing information from the conversations. I built a feature where I can essentially find a conversation, copy and paste it into the content section, hit extract with AI, and it extracts the most valuable parts of the conversation into the corresponding like pain points, quotes, future implications, content hooks, tags, and the more information I get, the better. And then I can add on the next feature, which most likely is going to be probably like short form content generator, which will be using the information that I get from all these conversations. Some of them conversations. So these are observations, conversations that I'm not in. But I also have capture, conversations, and observations. Conversations are where I'm a part of the conversation, where we're talking specifically about my project, the Stack of 8 app, investment hub, whatever you want to call it, that I just launched. So right now I'm dealing with observations. The capture part, I've replied to a few people, but haven't really heard much back yet. So that's going to be like more, I think, something over time where I can go through and get these done pretty quick in regards to finding conversations that already exist on the internet. So you're also noticing in the comments that max effort is very slow. Yes, and I noticed that too. So I gotten better at discerning when to use max effort and when to use medium effort. Usually the smaller tasks, more simple tasks, medium effort is fine. And it'll do the same thing as max effort. It'll just be like maybe a quarter of the time. Probably even less token burn too. So that's all about, I'd say that's more like agent orchestration, is knowing to manage things like, you know, which mode to use for like what you're building, stuff like that, like wouldn't really apply to like coding. So even if I was like a really good coder and I just came new to this, I think stuff like that I'd have to just like figure out as I go. And that's really where the the skills to this are, because in the future, my opinion is the future of vibe coding and agentic orchestration is going to be all about managing stuff like that. Understanding how like different tasks work, what kind of mode to do them in, like when to implement skills, audits, like stuff like that you'd already have with coding, but knowing how to like do them correctly in a vibe coding workflow or agentic orchestration. So definitely good skills to be learning, in my opinion. And who knows, maybe everyone just stops doing this and goes back to coding manually in a few years and this just phases out, but I really doubt it. I think this is going to only get better, and it's going to be here to stay, and more people are going to be using it. And this skill is going to be more and more highly requested from employers and just the business world in general. So the main thing I wasn't understanding here is like, how this gets smarter over time. So with each one of these entries I make, it fills up the database to give it better information. So it's going to get smarter on like creating the right content. However, with each feature like this, I'm going to have a prompt that I'm creating, or I'm having AI help me create to get the right information. So the information I'm getting is only going to be as good as the prompt that I create, and I want to be, each time I log information, I want to be observing it manually to make sure that I can tweak the prompt to make it better every time. And definitely personally changing models can be kind of annoying, but I think it's good to get that stuff and to be a habit from the start. So then like when you get to bigger projects, then you're just automatically doing it without thinking. Definitely living software, talking as you're doing live. Software adapts in real time to whatever features we want on the fly, and it's kind of already here. Like personal, like you can walk around with a microphone and can record everything all day, and at the end of the day, you just like tell it like organize my conversations, make a to-do list, stuff like that. And like I think in the future it's going to get way more interactive to where like oh, I said I was gonna like buy this new, I don't know, this new like box of cereal on Amazon, and like then you could just say like go ahead and go on Amazon and use my account to buy that cereal, and it will just like navigate through and like do what you need to do and make appointments, everything like that. It's only going to keep getting better. And I think the glasses are going to be, that's where glasses are going to come in. I think it's going to be much more convenient to just talk out loud and just push a button on your glasses, or not even have to push a button, but be easier to do that than like pull your phone out each time you want to make an observation. I'll be right back. next conversation time. First, looking at the comments, you've been vibe coding since December 2025. And yeah, definitely, I've noticed it's on a whole different level even since when I've started. Way less code hallucination. That's good to know. Yeah, it sounds like I got in right at the right time. Sounds like I got in right when it started making like really good advancements, and now it's like now the updates are almost like weekly, and I'm like updating, trying new tools like every other day almost, and can only imagine where it's going to be a year from now. No doubt, yeah. Don't undercut how much you learned about how to work with the AI. It's being consistent is definitely a journey. Thinking where I started to where I am now, I've come a long ways. There's still a long ways to go, but you know, it's what I like to do. I enjoy learning, especially about stuff like this. And this is like I keep saying, I feel like this is like, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in business at all, I mean, if you have a job where you're, you know, doing anything with data, or just, you know, probably anything, even manual labor, really, even like manual labor, there's probably use cases for AI, just not as many yet, maybe. But I think this is like one of the best skills anybody could be learning right now. All right. Finding a new conversation. I'm gonna sit down and rest my legs. Yes, many people, you're talking about watch a new person try using this for the first time and get a better realization of how far I've come, and that's very true. And I can just go back and watch myself on day one of this challenge and came so far. And also, when I talk to people about this stuff, so many people are just like, they've tried it once or twice, and it was just like they could not get good outputs. Like everything was just way over their head, and they just gave up. And their level of understanding, like they don't even barely understand basic stuff. And I feel like just me using AI a lot before I started vibe coding, I've been using AI a ton for like the past 2 years for applying it to like business content and stuff like that. So I already had some good skills of knowing how to like communicate with AI and create good prompts and stuff like that, which made a huge difference to, I think, my learning curve being so quick. But also to brag on myself, I feel like I'm a very smart person that loves learning and learns a lot of things very quick. And I just like don't want to give up until I find a new topic that I like, and I just want to like spend all my time learning about it until I feel like I know everything. So yeah, learning is definitely a skill I feel like you can build over time. Just got to stay focused. Did I see GPT 5.5 might be coming out today? Its benchmark is scary. I heard that it was going to be coming soon. And yeah, it's like riding a bike for sure. You know, a lot of people blaming like I just don't have a good enough bike, but you know, as a mountain biker, I could definitely mountain bike halfway decent without having shocks and stuff on a bad bike, and probably not even break it. But a beginner mountain biker, they'd be like, they could have the best bike in the world and they're not even going to be able to like do a quarter of what I can do. So that's a good analogy after a day of some good mountain biking. Curiosity takes us far. Yes, it does. I think this one's good. So this one looks good. The main thing, I feel like maybe there's just not enough context in the conversation, but we'll see what Claude thinks. But I feel like this is like perfect, like target market. Just maybe not enough information. That helps me understand things a lot better. Thank you. So basically, I found a new chat. I'm going to paste it here. Let me know what you think. Seems like it's definitely my target market, but I'm just thinking maybe this conversation is like too short, like there's not enough information here. This helps a ton to have Claude be like an advisor for, you know, how this information is working and what should be extracted and stuff like that. Because I get it for the most part, but it's definitely picking up on things that I'm missing. Yes, agents keep getting updated every month, definitely, and I'm sure it'll keep doing that. A few years from now, tech landscape is going to be very different, and staying on top. And like I'm saying, we're getting in at the, you especially, you got like a couple months even on me, and we're all like, I feel like this is like the early stages, like we all got in at the right time. And if we just stay consistent and we keep up with these updates and we keep learning and getting better, we're going to be in like the top, like, you know, 10% of people with these skills. And that's going to like provide so much value for us, whether you're trying to be an entrepreneur and create businesses, or whether you're trying to be making more income in the job market. Yeah, maybe scattered chat history. I think I know what you mean by that. But I think the best thing we got going right now for vibe coding, agentic coding, is the fact that we got, you know, the big players. We got Claude or Anthropic, OpenAI, and Gemini or Google, I guess. And they're all competing against each other. So I think the worst thing that could possibly happen would be if somebody bought out like all those companies and like monopolized this whole like industry. That I think would make prices go up and innovation go down.
all have future pants. They're pants we're going to wear tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that.
Alright, next extraction from the conversation, from the observations, going to the project. I'll look at the comments real quick in the chat. And
the day after that.
You have a thought capture system. Can give you your thoughts. Definitely good to be able to capture all your thoughts without having to like type them in a notepad or write them in a notepad. Or I guess you could even dictate them, but yeah, that's good to know. And another issue is that keeping this running uses an absurd amount of energy. Even saw some news recently claiming that data centers are eating up a huge percentage of the total U.S. energy spent in the U.S. The total energy spent in the U.S. I believe that. I've heard stuff like that too. I haven't really looked into how much it is, and I mean, yeah, maybe I don't understand it as well as I should, but it does sound like these data centers are massive and they're, you know, using a lot of resources and maybe not the best for the environment. And I feel like, you know, that's like, how do you get around that? Hopefully they can get better over time and cleaner, and you know, maybe put them in the desert so they can get like better solar power. I don't know how much power they'd need, if that'd be enough through solar, but I mean, that's a lot of things in life too, you know, cars, just so many things that it's like, do you get rid of it because it's you know, taking up a lot of resources, or do you find a way to make it better? And I think that's the way, like, it's probably always going to be here, just make it better. Like, just the fact of, like, you know, cars becoming more electric, EV is definitely, I think, like the right way to go for stuff like that. More mass transportation systems, things like that. Definitely a good time at the end of the day to capture thoughts. I would say this is the same thing here. Meditation at the beginning and the end of the day. Capture thoughts. Clear your mind of all your thoughts. Do some meditation, and usually that's when I get some of the best thoughts that pop up. After I clear my mind and don't try to think and just meditate. And a lot of times, solutions to things that I just wasn't even thinking about just are the things that pop up. So I got a new observation. I'm gonna paste the conversation and extract with AI. So now the information will fly into the different segments. Make sure that they... Awesome, that's quick every time. So let's see what... I'm gonna go back over what Claude was saying to check for. Does segment guess capture the self-made entrepreneur angle? Yep, 25-year-old self-made earner. Well, it says earner. So, online business, trading. Doesn't use the word entrepreneur specifically. Does it catch savings versus investing confusion? Framing retirement investing as putting money in safe places suggests a savings mindset, not an investing mindset. Yeah, it does catch that. So I'm going to transfer this data over. To Claude. Definitely good to see you, Ryukyu Kobashikawa. That's an awesome name. Not sure if I said it right, but you're definitely not messing with my flow. And it's good to talk to people every time. You know, you're a good, positive person, and having good conversations helps me to take a break. You know, keep my mind fresh, what I'm working on. Break my focus up. So yeah, good to have you here every time. And yeah, good to see you. Good to see you in the future. And thank you for wishing me good luck, and same to you and everything you do. So until next time, it's good to see you. Alright, so let's see what Claude thinks. Yeah, definitely. It looks like the only thing it found that I missed too. One of the quotes is just like nonsense. Like, I don't know if it copied it wrong. I think that's what it did because I don't remember reading that from the original conversation. Yeah, it doesn't appear anywhere in the raw thread. The OP never wrote that. The AI hallucinated a quote, and I missed it, but Claude caught it. So Claude thinks that AI was trying to pad the quote section since the OP is short and there's not much verbatim content. So I just got to be careful to find. I think finding longer conversations is definitely better. And I just learned that from doing this one. So I just got to delete that quote. But it looks like that's the only thing. So there's only one quote from this conversation. So yeah, I probably tried to add a second one and just made that weird one up. Tuning log entry. So I'm thinking this one's not plan mode. This one's just going to be max effort. There we go. Yeah, I see what you're saying. The data collection in professional world is a massive problem. And processing it can take a lot of time. So even what I'm doing right now can be as far as like collecting data and then like updating as I collect each piece of data to collect the data better could be applied to so many more things than just like this marketing project that I'm doing right now. So like this is like skills that just apply to like so many other things. So looking at the comments, I definitely use MD planning, plan MDs, Claude MDs, as much MDs as I can, depending on the project. This one right here, I don't have a full plan MD for the project yet, but I definitely should. Oh yeah, I do. But I've only built like the first feature, so I think that updates for this one because this project's a little different. Like I'm building feature on top of feature, and I'm kind of like having it do what each feature is supposed to do, and then spend some time to dial it in before I build the next feature on top of it. But yeah, thank you very much for the security info. I'm using planning. I definitely have done OWASP before, but I feel like I forgot what that is. I need to refresh my mind on that. Clean code models. That's awesome. I didn't know what that is, so I'm gonna look that up right now actually. Makes your workflow way less messy and much easier to scale. That's exactly what I'm always trying to do. Yeah, I know never delete my API keys. I made that mistake in the early days. Luckily, I was using free API keys, ENVs, anything important. Definitely try to keep them hidden, and then like every time I always rotate them. Especially Vercel just got broke into, so I had to like rotate everything and know how important it is to keep rotating. And even though it's kind of a pain and boring, but it's super necessary for security, everything. I'm always trying to pay attention to security. It's really awesome to have people helping me with that too. I've had so much good advice with security. Yep, just make sure to rotate any API keys if they ever get leaked. And to someone that's not building on stream, there's still issues with API keys. You know, making sure you set up like 2FA with all your accounts that have any API keys on them. If you keep them saved somewhere like real safe. And main thing I think is just keep rotating them. Make sure your project is you're not committing them to GitHub, so they're in the git ignore. So yeah, there's definitely it sounds like API keys are like the main things people try to get. And I'm always making sure, especially for like this first project I built where I would take a payment, that I'm using Stripe and Stripe is set up correctly. So, you know, that from what I understand, Stripe handles their own security. So like the most like, you know, important thing for like people's payment information and stuff, like from what I understand, like I can't even see that. That's all managed by Stripe. So yeah, respect every time, and thank you for that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about those concepts you were talking about. Somebody from the comments just helped me out, and they were talking about some concepts that I'm not really that familiar with. First one is OWASP. I feel like I've heard that before. Start there. Let me know what that means. OWASP. The building code for the internet. Open Worldwide Application Security Project to keep their apps from getting hacked. Nonprofit group of security experts from all over the world who share the best ways to protect software for free. There's a OWASP top 10 every year. 10 most common and dangerous ways hackers are breaking into websites right now. Yes, it does. It's good to know that I've already covered the top 5 of those, and I do remember doing those, so that helps me refresh my memory. And the next thing that I want to know more about is clean code models like DRY, KISS, and SOLID. Thinking, I know the one, keep it simple. That's what that's got to be. Don't repeat yourself. Yep, try not to have the same code multiple places. That's where, from what I understand, skills are kind of one of the best ways to prevent doing that. Like I was building like a lot of finance apps with different indicators, and instead of like writing the code to manage each indicator in multiple places on the app, I could just make one skill with that logic, and then the code would just reference that skill instead of having to like duplicate the code.
I saw it when I walked, boy.
Welcome back to the chat, the accolade. Good to see you every time. Respect, pick up yourself. I look like yesterday. Yes, I would probably agree. Good to see you ahead every time. Have a good evening too. Welcome, Miss 9261. Respect. Good to see you. Good to see new people every time. Welcome to the chat. If you're just tuning in, you know it's time to win. Right now, I am just learning about some new concepts from somebody in the comments. But what I'm doing today is building out the marketing. I just did the launch for, I'm about to put the link for Stackivate. It's the name means stacking, like stacking money. Oh man, shouldn't have done that. I gotta retype it. It was up here in the comments. But yeah, I'm about to put the link for Stackivate. So it's like stacking money and elevating mixed together. So it's a beginner investment platform. It's got a really awesome free tier. And you guys are the first people I'm launching it to. So yeah, if you guys want to try it out, check out the free tier. Let me know what you guys think. Anything that, you know, anything you don't like, whatever you like, things you think I should add, stuff like that. And I would also say too, like up the like button, hit the like button, get this information out to more people. And what I'm working on is the marketing dashboard for Stackivate. So the first step in this dashboard, I'm going to put it on the project browser, is collecting data. So basically, this is something you can even do before you build a project. If you're not really clear on what you want to build, this would be a good idea to go and find, like right now, first I'm looking at Reddit. My target market is people who are new to investing, so I'm finding them on Reddit, and they're, you know, asking questions about like investments, people that don't really understand what they're doing. They're looking for answers. They're having conversations. So I'm copying and pasting the good conversations. I've been studying marketing for, I don't know, about 15 years. So I understand what good conversations are mostly. And I understand like what I'm looking for in those conversations. So you can see, let me see if I click on conversation already got. I copy and paste in the conversation. I built a feature to where it can automatically, I just click extract. It automatically divides or categorizes certain parts of the conversation, like the segment guess, like who is the person, pain points, that's very important. Notable quotes, like using their exact words for later marketing, feature implications, content hooks, tags. And the more information I collect, the more like this library for this project, for this marketing project, is going to fill up with information. So then when I build the next part to this project, which would be probably like content creator, it's going to be able to pull from all this information that I've already given it, instead of me just like, you know, having to guess or stuff like that. I'm actually using like way better data for it. And then I'll build that, and then I'll start working with that, and then I'll make that better over time, and then I can build the next layer on top of that. That'll take it a step further, and I'll just keep doing that as much as I can, and build this out. And this is like custom for this project, but I think, you know, like 80% of this would apply to pretty much any vibe coding app or project. Alright, so I was just reading some quick things about Alright, so looking at the next, looking for the next conversation. Yeah, this is someone asking about investing, but they don't have money to invest because of their credit card debt. So yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for them. They got to get that taken care of first. So I don't think this would be very good for... Yeah, this doesn't seem like it'd be good for investing. There's nothing about investing in there. This is more about building a house, I think. Yeah, this is not really investing info. Welcome, Zach Storms, to the chat. Big up yourself every time. Respect. Good to see you. This one might be good. Financial advisor. Seems very strongly in favor of... Oh, life insurance. Maybe not. Oh. Post is not even there. Waiting moderator approval. So that's not going to work. Maybe right here. Yeah, this has got to be good. People wondering which investor platform sounds like a broker to go through. And I would say just use Stack of 8. I want to see what Claude thinks about this conversation. It looks good to me. Definitely a new topic of a conversation in regards to like which advisor to go through. Definitely logging this one. Alright, awesome. Standing up and doing the log. Reddit. Yeah. Another one down. All right. Just keep getting it better every time. So basically, like, it only found one thing that I thought, like, I should, like, slightly change. So it's definitely getting better. And then it's giving me the prompt to basically let it know where it messed up, so it doesn't do that same problem again. And yeah, this thing is really coming along nice, getting a lot better. Feeling really good about this. I know it's just going to keep getting better the more I go, the more I flow. It's all about the more you know. But yeah, feeling good about this. Another productive day. Definitely feel like I got a lot of production done today, and it's getting better. The system will keep improving and getting better as I build, and I just had a very good insight. So, you know, everything I'm building on this dashboard, so far I've had it in mind for using it for marketing. But I was just thinking, like, there's probably ways I could use this to make my actual Stack of 8 project better. I'm not really clear how yet, but I'm just kind of seeing that there's potential there. Let me know what you think of that, and let me know what you think in regards to, like, would it make sense to add a feature to this project for, I guess, like, things to, you know, either add or change on the current app that I just launched? Or do you think that might be something that should be its own project? Or any other suggestions that you have, let me know. And this is such a good idea. I mean, from what I've seen, like, people have somewhat similar marketing projects that they're building, but I've never seen anything where the marketing data for the project, because I mean, I'm getting a ton of data right now, and I will be even getting more, especially with like creating content, getting analytics back. And all this data can not just go into like make the marketing better, but to make the product better, make the app better. So I need to link those two. And basically what it's saying is like, it's kind of too early to like build a feature on this app to be doing that, but this is a really good thing to remember to do at the right point in this build. Can you create a prompt for me to add that information to the project in a decision doc? I don't think I have a decision doc already, but whatever you think would be best to like add this later. And I guess like, you know, I'm not sure how it would work to remind me to add it at the right time, but whatever you think would work best to do that, let me know. And also, I am saying Stackivate correctly. It's just that with this dictation tool, it comes up written the wrong way. And I have a better dictation tool for Whisperflow, but the command that I have to press to use it seems like there's a problem because it just pastes the last thing I copied instead of doing what it's supposed to do and dictating my voice. And it only does that on this on Claude Code, or I mean Claude LLM. Everything else it works fine, so I gotta find a fix for that, but maybe I shouldn't have added that to like keep the context. I just wanted to let you know why it's doing that. Alright, what do you think about doing an audit right now? Do you think it's needed? Better to do an audit when you're fresh, not working for a while. But it's also important to do it. But yeah, it doesn't sound like I need to do an audit right now, so. So, that was a good amount for today. I would have to say that I got a late start, so I'm feeling tired, but you know, I'm still doing it big. I'm still making it work. I'm still coming up with awesome ideas, and you know, at the end of that session, I had one of the better ideas I've had in a while, maybe since yesterday. But that's basically combining this, so it's not only making the marketing better but making the project better. So that's it for today. Hopefully you got a lot of value off of what I had to say, coming through with something new with no delay on another day, hopefully tomorrow. So until then, I'm out. Thought it out. Have a good night, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you're at. I'll leave it at that.